Hi students, great to get back with you. Sorry if there's a bit of an echo in this room. I'm down in the basement recording. My wife's upstairs, Mrs. Cohen's upstairs teaching her students online, so I don't distract her. Goal for today is actually to prepare you kids for making what we call a multi-tier timeline. So a multi-tier timeline is a timeline of events that it's like events that are happening in several places or in several people's lives or in different parts of the world. Basically, it's a timeline that has different parts that relate to each other over time. So what do I mean by that? Well, I'll give you an example here. This is what you guys are going to be doing. This is just a part construction, should I say, of a multi-tier timeline. So what you kids are going to be doing is you're going to create a timeline. You might start 2007 and finish in 2020. What you're going to have to do is I'm going to actually have you kids split up into groups within the groups that you've been doing the discussions with. And within those groups, each of you has obviously you have your own email address and you're going to be sharing a document that you create. And then you're going to be working on it together. And your goal over the next couple of days is simply to get something like this completed. You're going to choose a colour for yourself, and that will be the colour you use for these squares. So, for example, this might be, say, this is, Billy. This is Billy's timeline of events that have happened in his life, and he's already mentioned those in the discussion. His colour is red, so I know this is all to do with Billy. This is Sarah's. Sarah chose the colour blue for her fonts and for her boxes, so I can tell this is Sarah and this is Billy. So these events up here will be Billy's. Billy's already put one in. He's put in January, his sister was born, okay? Sarah's going to put her events in here with the months, if she's got the months, or specific dates. And I've not finished the timeline here. I'm just giving you an example. You would create a timeline with the years along here. This could be, there might be 4 people in your group. I'll let you have between 2 and 4 people in your group. If there's one person on their own in the group, then we don't want to have one person working on their own. It's going to be a multi-tier timeline. So you're going to need to have a partner, at least one partner working with you on this project. So if there's 6 people in the group, I'd say split up into 2 groups of 3. Here we have a group of 4 students, Billy in red, Sarah in blue, maybe Charlotte in green, and Tommy's chosen the magenta colour, right? So I know these are all different students represented, and you're going to mention that in a key that you create in your document. So today what I'd like you to do is simply put in a line, and I'm going to show you how to do that soon. You're going to put in a line for the timeline, and I would keep the font quite small, even though maybe set the font at around 10 rather than 12, because we can expand that later in the actual document. When I say the actual document, I mean in this, but we are going to be using the drawing tool, and I'll show you how to do that in a moment. And I have included videos also at the end of my timeline module that is now open for you. So what I'm wanting you to do is to choose between, let's say, 4 and 6 major events in your life, and you've already given me 8 to 10 of them in the discussion, which I'll be looking at. You've got to be, those kids who've got that done, great, you're in front. You've already got your events chosen, and you've got the dates and so on. And you're going to choose between 4 and 6 of them. I think 6 of them would be more interesting than just 4. And you would place them in the timeline. So Billy's done his. What I would recommend you first do is put the squares in, and then you can simply copy each square and place the blank squares in there. If you start typing inside the squares before you copy one, it gets more complicated. You're better off putting in the blank squares first, and I'll show you how to do that in a moment. Let's see. One moment. So what we'd be doing is you'd be going into the drawing tool. So to get started, you would, well, let's just close this for a moment. You would open up a document, rename the document Student Timeline, and then I'd like one of you to share that document with everybody else in your group, and they're going to be editing it also. So you'd have to get each other's email addresses, and you can get those through the discussion. Just share the discussion, and in the discussion, share your emails with each other, and then that way the document can be shared with each member of the group. Please make sure you type your email address accurately for the person who's going to be sharing this document. Once you've shared the document, you open it, should call it something like Student Timeline, and then you would go to File, Insert Drawing, and you'd click Insert New, and then what would happen is it would come up something like this. Let me show you. You'd have a blank document. I've already created this partly for you to see, but let's see. Let's try again. So you'd have a blank sheet, and then the drawing page would open up, which would look like this, but you would have nothing on it. I've already created this. So how would you do this? How would you put the line in? Well, first thing is, no line is selected right now because that's blue. When you click on a choice of line, this goes black, okay? So you put your line in, and I'd recommend putting it across the middle, like so. And you can put arrows on the end, and if you see here, we've got end of the arrow there. Then for this end, put the arrow there, okay? Then you can put the lines in for the dates. So short line, like that. Oops. Keep them small. What's going on here? That's all right. That's why. See how it's blue? Okay, let's change it so it goes black. Okay. Now you've got that one line. Let's straighten up a little bit. Let's try and straighten that up. When this happens, just click delete and it goes away. Let's straighten up a bit. Now notice that red line that just appeared. That's because if we click on actions and we show guides, what I would do is I'd click on, actually snap to, click on snap to, click on guides, make sure your guides is checked. And then what that does is that helps you line things up a little bit better. So let's straighten up a little bit better. Just hang on. Oops, delete. And then we're going to copy. So see how that's highlighted, and we're simply going to copy that. Copy, and we'll put one at the end, just like we've got one here for 220. So I'm basically copying this line above, and I'm going to click copy, click copy, and then I'm going to click paste. And I'd create many of them because these are going to be for the different years. So keep clicking paste, again, paste, again, paste, again, paste, until you've got the number of years that you want to put on your timeline, and then you simply drag them to the positions you want them to be. Okay, so you place these lines, just click on them, and they've been positioned along here. Then you're going to put the years in. So let me show you. I'm going to put a year in on this line here. I'll do it on this year. Um, on this line, should I say. So let's go back to the original line. So I need to click on create a word box with these dates in. And we're going to have to make the font a little bit smaller than 12. Here's the text box or word box. So I'm going to type in 2009, and you can see that font is too big. Oops. Highlight it, change the font, make it about 10, okay? And then let's take the text box. And when you see that shape appear, you can then simply drag it up. You see how the red line appears? Sometimes that's lining it up for you in the exact position you need it to be. And that can be a bit tricky, which takes some practice, but those red lines help you line things up. And so you do that all the way along this timeline. Next thing, after you've got the dates in, each student can then start, because you're going to be working together, you've shared the emails, you've shared the documents, and you can be working, getting this completed. Please do not delete anybody else's work unless you've discussed it with them and everybody's agreed to it. So let's practice putting these boxes in. Notice I've got 6 in for the 6 events for each student. Okay. Create another text box. Simply like that. Before you type any material in there, the easiest thing and the quickest way to do this is to simply, once you've done that, let's do another color. Let's try that again. Okay. Let's see what color, the border color. I'm going to choose my color. And say, for example, I was another student that was joining this timeline. Say there were 5 students in this group. I might choose a color. By the way, try to avoid choosing colors that are too light because they'll be very difficult to read. Okay, so maybe I'll just choose a black border. Okay, now there's where my text is going to go. Like, did I say Billy or Bob? Billy's done his in red. Mine's going to be in black, but I'm not going to type anything yet. Instead, I click on it and then I go copy and just click anywhere, and then you're going to create 6 of those. So you're going to have 5 more. Paste, 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 paste. Let's stop there, okay? So imagine these aren't here. I would be then clicking on them and placing them, once I get that little cross sign, placing them somewhere on the timeline. So there's not a lot of space on this because I've already put 4 students in here. But say, for example, with 5, I might put mine here because I've got an event that's near 2020. Well, actually, it'd be 2019 here. Okay. And you place them to the corresponding year that you've got on the line. Okay. That's all I want you to do for now, right? Right. So, for example, this student's got these going on, these events going on around dates that would be on somewhere on this timeline. Okay. So I'm going to be deleting those later, but let's see. I then save and close. And I would see the changes that have been made in my document. Okay. So before you didn't see these black squares, you didn't see this second timeline, which is going to get deleted soon. So basically you started off by opening a document, you named the document, you then clicked on Insert, you clicked on Drawing, you clicked on New, and that takes you to that place I just showed you, which would look like this, but it will be blank when you first start, and then you get to working in here. I would recommend that you keep your fonts just a size 10 because there's not a lot of space to work in here, I must admit. So I recommend no more than 4 people in a group. If there's 5 people in your group, split into groups of 3 and 2. That would be the best. Okay. By the way, if you need to delete anything, simply highlight it, click delete. 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 Let's get rid of that. Let's get rid of that line. Oh, actually, I'm going to leave that for later. I'll mess that line up. Oh, and if I want to move that line a little bit, I just highlight it, make it more level if I need to. The red line shows it's straight. That can be tricky sometimes. Let's try that. That's better. Okay. And if you have any questions, kids, just email me. But basically, all I'd like you to get done today is just get your boxes in, get the timeline in with the dates, font size 10, make sure the document's saved. Be careful, if you don't save, all your work will disappear. So save and close. Okay, and then it's saved in your document. And then later, if you need to edit something in this, which you will be doing, you'll see it says edit here. If you don't see this appear, click on edit. Actually, no, this is for undo, sorry. No, the edit should be there. Okay, let's see if there's anything else. You might also want to make copies of your documents in case you lose, you're frightened of losing things. What I'm also going to do is show you that I put in, let's see, videos for you in the bottom of the timeline and time maps module. There's a video, actually there's 3 videos that will be very useful for you to watch while you're doing this. All right, students, I wish you best of luck with that. Enjoy it. Oh, the photographs later on, we can put small photographs in next to your little events, you know, your information. Don't worry about that yet, though. I'm just showing you that can come later, right? We'll have little photographs, images, and so on that relate to what's in the text boxes. All right, kids, wish you the best luck. Okay, have a great day. Be in touch soon. Thank you. Bye for now.